Alrighty, folks, you know I'm feeling great on a Wednesday morning because Gold Club members cashed in on 5 games on my premium page yesterday with the Mavericks, T-Wolves, Heat, over in the Hawks game. We also cashed in on the Georgia Bulldogs in college basketball. It's also going to put us at 3-0 in our last 3 extra daily picks on my premium page as well. And if you want to see which one of the games on the NBA slate here tonight that I actually like the best, I've got another extra daily pick going off here for you today. It's just 9 cents a day for 30 days worth of access. And of course, as an added bonus, you also get access to my daily best play each and every day during that time frame. Absolutely free. It's going to be included with your membership. Before we go ahead and move on, just want to take a quick time out and welcome you to my NBA free pick video here today for Wednesday, January 8th, 2025. Happy Wednesday to you. Happy hump day to you. The weekend's right around the corner. We are halfway there. Of course, if you're joining me for the first time here today, my name is Brock Page. I've been dishing out free sports picks on social media since 2016. Once again, folks, we are 3-0 in our last 3 extra daily picks on my premium page, looking to keep things going in that package. And with that, folks, let's go ahead and dive into some free content. We're going to start off with the Wizards at the Sixers, 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off. Philadelphia is minus 11 at home, totals 221. Now, Philadelphia is 6 games below 500. They've got a losing record against the point spread. And more recently, Philadelphia did fail to cover in 6 out of their last 10 ball games. They've been pretty bad on the offensive end of the court this year. They're making fewer field goals a game than any other team besides one. They're also the second worst offensive rebounding team in the NBA. And they're facing a Washington team on the other side who actually covered the number recently against the likes of Chicago and Charlotte. Bilal Coulibaly averages a handful of rebounds a game, dozen points a night as well. And Jonas Valanciunas, he's making 55% of his attempts from the field this year, dozen points a night for him. Now, injury-wise, Kuzma, Brogdon, and Poole day-to-day. Keep an eye on those guys. Meanwhile, for Philly, Drummond is questionable. Embiid, George, and Lowry are still out. Now, Philadelphia has seen their fair share of unders this year in the Wells Fargo Center. They're actually 60% to the under this season in their own building. Meanwhile, the Wizards saw unders recently against the likes of the Pelicans, Bulls, and Hornets. I like Washington plus 11, under 221. Next matchup, Thunder, Cavaliers, 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off. Cleveland's minus 2.5, totals 230. And both teams with 30 wins respectively already. And oddly enough, both teams with 24 successful covers on the year as well. Cleveland's currently in the top 5 in defensive field goal percentage, doing a nice job forcing turnovers. Meanwhile, Oklahoma City, they lead the league in defensive steals themselves, first in guarding the 3-ball. Now, injury-wise, Caruso and Holmgren are still out for Oklahoma City. Merrill and Okoro day-to-day for Cleveland. When it comes to the total, 6 out of these teams' last 10 head-to-head gatherings did fall under the total. So if you're into historical trends, plenty of unders to go around. Meanwhile, OKC saw their last 3 straight stay under the total themselves. 63% to the under in their road trips. I like the under 230. Next game, Bulls, Pacers, 7 o'clock East. Indiana is minus 5.5, totals 241. And I tell you what, both teams with their fair share of difficulties on defense. The Pacers are currently 24th in defensive field goal percentage, bottom 10 in points allowed. Meanwhile, Chicago's in the bottom 10 in defensive boards themselves, second to last in takeaways. When it comes to the injury list, Craig and Dosunmu are still out for Chicago. Halliburton's day-to-day for Indy. Neesmith's still inactive. When it comes to the total, the Pacers saw overs in 6 out of their last 7 ball games. Meanwhile, Indiana's Indy's 11-4 to the over at the Gainbridge Fieldhouse. I like the over 241. All right, next matchup, Raptors, Knicks, 7:30 East. New York's minus 11 at home, totals 232. The Knicks are currently 11 games above 500, winning record against the point spread. When it comes to shooting the basketball, well, the Knicks are making just about 50% of their field goals as a team. They currently rank in the top 5 in shooting from three land. Jalen Brunson averages over 25 points per contest, 7.5 assists. Mikal Bridges, he's averaging over 18.5 points a game himself. And they're facing a Toronto club who's currently 20 games below 500, bottom 5 in points allowed. And the Raptors do tend to find themselves in a lot of foul trouble. They're putting more shooters to the stripe than any other team. Now, injury-wise, Towns and McBride are questionable for the Knicks. Robinson's still inactive. When it comes to the total, the Knicks did see unders in 3 out of their last 4 games. Toronto's currently 63% of the under in their travels. I like the Knicks minus 11, under 232. Next contest, Pistons, Nets, 7:30 East. Detroit's minus 8, totals 212. The Pistons are playing 500 basketball at the moment, winning record against the number. Meanwhile, Brooklyn's currently 10 games below 500 themselves, failed to cover in 6 out of their last 9. When it comes to defensive play, the Nets currently have the worst defensive field goal percentage in the entire NBA. Actually letting their opponents make nearly 50% of their field goals against them. They're also dead last in blocks, bottom 3 in free throws allowed. And unfortunately for them, the Pistons do a good bit of shooting away from Detroit. They're currently in the top 10 in shooting from three land in their travels. Malik Beasley's drilling 40% of his long balls, 16 points a game he's getting. And Cade Cunningham, he's averaging a team best 24 points per game. Now, injury-wise, Thompson and Ivy are out for Detroit. Russell, Bogey, Johnson, Thomas, Watford, and Lewis inactive for Brooklyn. 4 out of the Nets' last 7 outings did get over the total. 9-1 of the over in their last 10 meetings with Detroit. So if you're into historical trends, plenty of overs to go around. Now to the Pistons' last 10 ball games, the over did cash in 80% of those contests. Give me Detroit minus 8, over 212. Next game, Blazers, Pelicans, 8 o'clock East. The Pels are minus 3, totals 225. The Pelicans are just 7-30 overall, 14-23 against the point spread. They currently have the second worst defensive field goal percentage in the NBA. They're facing a Blazers team who covered in 3 out of their last 5. Failures to cover against the likes of Detroit, Milwaukee, and Dallas. And believe it or not, the Blazers do have a winning record against the point spread this year. Not completely helpless when it comes to covering the number. Amf Simons leads the roster in scoring. DeAndre Ayton snags double-digit rebounds a game. Now, injury-wise, Grant and Thibault still out for Portland. Klingon and Avija still are questionable. Meanwhile, for the Pelicans, Brandon Ingram still battling that ankle injury. He's inactive. 6 out of the Pelicans' last 9 ball games did get over the total. Meanwhile, Portland went 6-3 to the over in their last 9 themselves. I like the Blazers plus 3, over 225. Next game, Clippers Nuggets, 9 o'clock East. The Clippers are minus 2, totals 227. LA's 20-16 on the year, covering in 61% of their games. Meanwhile, Denver's 5 games above 500 themselves, but just 15-20 against the number. For some reason, the Nuggets just don't want to play much defense. They're 25th in defensive scoring, bottom 3 in field goals allowed. And they're facing a Clipper team who covered in 6 out of their last 10 themselves. Doing a nice job on the defensive end of the court. LA's allowing just 107 points a game this year, top 3 in steals. Ivica Zubac leads the locker room in blocks and rebounds. Chris Dunn has the most steals. When it comes to the injury list, Tucker's still out for the Clips. Jokic, Jones, and Gordon questionable for Denver. Now, total-wise, the Nuggets' last 3 straight did fall under the total. They're currently 60% to the under in their last 10. Meanwhile, LA saw 7 out of their last 10 stay under the total themselves. I like the Clippers minus 2, under 227. And unfortunately, folks, I have no free pick available for you in the Spurs-Bucks game. And with that, folks, we're going to dive into our quick pick recap. I like the Wizards plus 11, under 221. Give me the under 230 in the OKC-Cleveland game. I'm 3-0 my last 3 extra daily picks on my premium page. I like the over 241 in the Bulls-Pacers game. Knicks minus 11, under 232. Detroit minus 8, over 212. Blazers plus 3, over 225. Clippers minus 2, under 227. Once again, I have no free pick available for you in the Spurs-Bucks game. And with that, folks, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on my premium page. And if you do end up getting a membership here today on my premium site, just a friendly reminder, you're going to get access to that membership every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you're also going to get access to all of my cheaper memberships during that time frame absolutely free. They're going to be included with your membership. That's why I always tell folks that Gold Club package, it's a full access, all-inclusive membership. Gives you access to every single premium selection of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. But most importantly, folks, gotta thank you for joining me right here on the free video. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. With that said, folks, happy Wednesday to you. Happy hump day to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my premium page.